Hey guys, KeggisKid18 here, and I'm back with another round of shiny speculation for the upcoming Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Today we're going to deal with some of the legendaries that have been revealed for the game, starting with Zygarde. Now Zygarde is a Pokemon we're all familiar with from Pokemon X and Y, but we just recently learned that this Zygarde is actually just one form of the Pokemon, called Zygarde 50%. This makes shiny speculation for the other forms kinda easy because we already know what shiny Zygarde looks like. The upper half becomes white, and the lower half becomes this cool mint green color. So let's bring out the first of the new Zygarde forms, Zygarde Cell and Zygarde Core. Now the information we have about these guys is pretty vague about whether or not we'll be able to use them in battle, but for the sake of speculation, let's assume that they will receive in-game models and they can be shiny. So since these guys are colored the same light green as Zygarde 50%, let's assume that their shiny will also be the same shiny, and that the green will turn into a kind of similar mint green color. The only other thing we have to change here is the gem in the middle there, so I made it purple, for reasons that we'll get to a little later on. Next up we've got another new form of Zygarde, Zygarde 10%. Now I have to admit I wasn't crazy about Zygarde 10% when I first saw it. I mean, how does a dog turn into a snake? But now we know they're all kind of based off Loki's children from Norse mythology, so I'm willing to let it slide. Anyway, Zygarde 10% should naturally have a similar shiny to Zygarde 50%. The black will turn white, and that light green will again become that mint green color. To continue the theme from Zygarde Core, that gem in the middle there is again going to turn purple. All in all, I think this shiny looks pretty great. But that's nothing compared to Zygarde's final form, Zygarde Complete. Now this thing looks a bit too much like a giant mech for me, but I gotta admit its official art is pretty badass, and so is its shiny. Like the other two forms, Zygarde Complete will turn mostly white with darker green highlights, but here's where it gets fun. The red and blue markings of Zygarde Complete seem to harken back to Pokemon X and Y, so I thought the new colors should reflect Pokemon Sun and Moon. Instead of red and blue now, they're orange and purple, which is why I made those red gems of the previous forms into purple gems. I've even changed the zigzag design in its chest to reflect the new colors, and overall, I think this is one awesome shiny. But let's get away from the Zygardes for a moment and head into our next legendary, Magearna. Now Magearna is another design I wasn't crazy about right away, but I gotta admit it's kinda growing on me a little bit. And like Zygarde, we may also know what its shiny looks like. A short clip from the new Pokemon movie reveals a red and gold Magearna. Apparently that's how it was painted in the past. Anyway, whether or not this is Magearna's new shiny or a new form, I don't know. But what I do know is before this clip came out, I'd already designed a shiny for Magearna. So here it is. Instead of being dull gray all over, Magearna is going to change into this nice gold color, and its highlights will become bluish gray. Its eyes are going to change from red to this piercing electric green, and the soul heart on its chest will change colors as well. For some reason, making Magearna shiny mostly gold just made a lot of sense to me, and it seems like Gold Magearna is actually going to exist one way or another in the Pokemon universe. This brings us to the most recently revealed of the Sun and Moon legendaries, Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko is apparently the guardian of Mele Mele, the island you start on in the game. It seems like all the other islands will have at least one of these guardians. The design is alright, but it is pretty cool how they're incorporating native Hawaiian themes into the games. Anyway, onto the shiny. I don't think there's been nearly enough blue shinies on here today, so let's go ahead and make Tapu Koko's big arm shield things blue, and its body yellow, because why not? It's a complementary color, it looks good. And for a little flair, let's make those eye markings a similar electric green to what we gave Magearna, just to make it pop. I don't know if Tapu Koko or the other legendaries will be shiny locked in these games, but judging from the past track record, that'll likely be the case, and their shiny forms may never see the light of day. Oh well, at least we can dream. Anyway guys, that's all I have for you today. Check back soon for another video, but as always guys, we are gonna see you on the next shiny.